So on Tincast last night, um, Tim was saying that Saudi Arabia is joining BRICS, and for those who aren't paying attention to anything economics besides high prices at the pump or food prices, BRICS is something that Russia, China, and other various countries are trying to create to make a world currency that is backed by actual commodities and things like that. It's actually backed by things instead of being backed by debt. America is the number one currency right now, and other countries back their currency with our currency. So BRICS is something that's in competition with our dollar, and if it overthrows our dollar, which it looking like it's going to at some point, and watch TFM this weekend. I mean, he should be talking about this in great depth if you really give a shit, which a lot of people really should be giving him a shit, because I'm not really good at explaining all this shit. It's not my forte. I don't really have a forte, I guess. But anyway, if America's dollar becomes a currency that's not the number one currency in the world, what'll happen is some type of like hyperinflation. And I assume they'll print out more money and they'll try to come out with some kind of universal basic income here, but it won't. Our money won't be as valuable at all. So we don't make anything here. And Tim was talking about this in depth last night, where our currency will be worthless. People will be trying to compared to what it is now or what it was. And it makes sense why the politicians are trying to suck everything dry out of the system that they can. They're taking all the silverware out of the sinking Titanic onto the little ship boats, while the rest of us who aren't paying attention, who are all being distracted, are sinking with the Titanic. They're taking off on the lifeboats, and there's not any lifeboats for us, and they know this. And we're sitting here being distracted. We know we hit something, but we don't even know. We're just sitting in the boat. We're sitting in the Titanic somewhere. We don't even know we're sinking. Soon we will know when the water starts rising. But the leaders will already be gone on their boats. So that's what I think is happening. If there's any type of going against BRICS, the only thing I could think of that they'll try to do is war. That's what I think a lot of wars are fought over anyway. Resources, territories, equal resources, prosperity, that type of thing. But a lot of people ain't paying attention, man. They haven't been paying attention. Now, I guess from the people I've been listening to, the highly intelligent people like Aaron Clarey or TFM, the effects of this hyperinflation, we won't sink. It won't just be we hit the iceberg and then all of a sudden we're just going down automatically. It's a slow process. So it will be felt, and you will be feeling it in like 5 years or something like that, possibly sooner. But honestly, our currency is a dying currency anyway. I've heard of multiple people that are highly intelligent saying like currencies like ours, fiat currencies like ours, aren't meant to last. They have an expiration date. They usually last like, I don't know, 50, 75 years. Something like that, 100 years, something like that anyway. But our currency isn't backed by anything but guns, man. That's it. It used to be backed by gold and things like that, but I mean, if you look at our society as a whole and you look at how in the 90s and in the 80s and all that, and you can see like our culture just like popping off, man. And you look at our culture now, I'm talking about our mainstream culture. It was popping off. There was like a lot of creativity and shit. And you look at it now, and you can say, oh, it's the internet. There's a lot of creativity when it comes to independent people, but anyway, you don't see like the mainstream creativity you used to see. You can see our culture eroding. You can see the moral values eroding before our eyes. And I think this is intentional. But I think they're kind of boiling the frog slightly fast. I'm not sure why they're, kind of going all in. Like TFM says, like they don't want to take the L, man. And we have to understand is the federal government is not generally working for us, the American people. They work for a global corporation, a small group of, how about this? A small group of wealthy white men who are trying to make us hate each other and fight each other on age. Like they want us to, my generation is better than yours, this and that, or race, or gender, or sexuality, because they don't want us looking at them, and that's what's happening. I'm so tired of these fucking wars, man. I'm so tired of these fucking wars. I'm so tired of them not letting correct information out to let people be healthy. I'm fucking tired of this shit, dude. They want us sick, so we have to go to the doctors, so we're relying on the doctors. I think that they want us dependent on the government on some type of way, whether it's a financial benefit, like welfare, or like medical benefit. Like we need to rely on the government to save us. They want everyone to, if they could, they give us all HIV, so we have to take that medicine and rely on the government or we die. That's what they want. They want slaves. Them pushing EVs is, the technology is cool, but if you look at how much it costs for fuel, for EVs and shit, and our infrastructure isn't set up to, if everyone had EVs, electric vehicles, we're not set up. We won't be able to sustain that shit. It's a bunch of bullshit. I seen a couple tweets from the Joe Biden administration. What is this? Like, really? Oh, so funny. I love life. So funny. Anyway, anyway, the infrastructure's not set up for it, and they keep trying to push EVs like it's some kind of savior. I love technology. I don't want to drive anymore, man. But we're not there, and electric vehicles are something that they can control you with. I mean, same thing with gas, but the thing with gas is it's a little bit easier to. It's not. It's not easier to store, but it's more plentiful, I think, than because we don't have the. So it takes longer to charge your vehicle and shit, man. And if that battery fails, you gotta replace that battery or whatever. It's a shit ton of money, man. It's like 10,000. I've heard of people. I don't know if this is true. I've seen it off the internet, so who the hell knows? 26,000. That's a little bit different than, $4,000 for a transmission in your car. Yeah, it's what we have going on right now is just very chaotic, and that's why preparing for hard times. Like food should be okay, because we grow our own food. If BRICS takes over and our dollar becomes kind of worthless, well, not completely worthless, but just look at hyperinflation, man. Like what's done in the past to other countries, Germany, Zimbabwe, Venezuela. There'll still be production of food, but you won't have as much of selection as you have now. So you'll be missing certain things. You'll probably have more holes in the shelves, like probably worse in 2020. You'll still have some things, but in Venezuela there's longer lines. There's like lines where people they spend all day just to get 8 items, like 8 hours to go shopping for things, and that is very possible. I don't think it'll be as bad as Venezuela. And they did other things called like price controls and things like that. As if we institute stuff like that, there's something else I think where the company, I think it's like price controls where you start seeing companies go out of business because they're not making enough to even sustain itself because they can't make the price higher to pay for even the overhead of their company. So how are you gonna keep going forward as a company if you can't pay your bills? What's gonna happen? You shut down. But extras, like we don't make our own clothes really. We import a lot of stuff like that, computers, things like that, technology, stuff like that. You might see high fucking prices. The cell phone I'm shooting this on, I bought used for like $500. Brand new, if I got a brand new one, it'd be like it might be $1,100, $1,500. I'm not sure how the newest phones are. Something around that price range. Kind of like a computer, almost rivaling a computer. I don't know, 15 years ago, something like that, because it basically is a computer, even way better than any kind of computer back then. For all the different functions it does. But you know, the same phone I have right now could possibly be thousands of dollars, even with the cracks on the screens I have. So I could probably sell it because of the other countries aren't shipping them here because our dollar's kind of worthless if Brinks takes over. A lot of people are living in this fucking fantasy, man, and like everything just can continue to keep going forward. Awesome. Look at our cities, man. Just look at our fucking cities. How are we like sending billions of dollars over to fucking fund a war we shouldn't even be involved in? You know, why are we in fucking NATO, man? The whole point of NATO is to keep Russia in check in a Cold War. Well, fuck that shit. We should get out of that. That's just none of our business. You know, we're about our own selves, man. We got fucking gangs out of control. They're basically cartels here in America. You got cartels in charge of us. Yeah, like I said, our cities are fucking dilapidated, man. If you look at the 1950s, Detroit was like the spectacle. Everyone wanted their city to be like Detroit. And now look at it now. It's a fucking shithole, man. You could buy a house there. This is how corrupt they are. They sell houses for like $50. You're like, oh, fucking $50 for a house. But it might be in a bad neighborhood. You might get fucking robbed. You might get fucking killed. You know. The police probably don't go there much. So you buy this property for like $50 and it seems like, damn, that's a hell of a fucking deal for $50. Well, you don't know all the back taxes that they put on there. That Detroit puts on there, or like utility bills. Pass overdue utility bills that you're responsible for now, and the high taxes, property taxes you have to pay every year, for Detroit, just for the city. You don't know about that. You just look at the price. Oh man, but you don't look at the long-term things. That's the thing, is nobody's looking at the long term. All people think about is right now. Yeah, everything's cool right now, man. Everything's cool. Yeah, we're not fucking in chaos. We still work. Like, I still have a job I'm going to. When you go to the store or go out and about, there's still people are pretty civil. You don't have to worry about being bombed or shot predominantly unless you're in a bad neighborhood. It's like a slow decay. Okay, it's a slow decay. And I'm looked at like a fucking whack job for talking like this, man. People like to ignore reality. They don't want to pay attention to anything else going on. I watched this fucking video. The tube tells you what to do. The tube tells you what to eat. The tube tells you what to think. And this was like some show in the 60s, man. Some dude saying this in the 60s. And people have been completely hypnotized by the tube. I was one of them. I'm not gonna lie. I used to watch TV, all that shit all the time, man. Listen to the fucking news. Mainstream, there was nothing else. You didn't know any fucking different. We got the internet now. There's all kinds of information. And some of it, probably a lot of it's not true. Okay? But just to be closed-minded and be like, that's not possible. To not question things is highly ignorant. Just to be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna keep on. You don't look around you, man. You're not looking at the cities. Why are these, like, our cities? If America was so going in the right direction, they should be amazing. There shouldn't be people camping out in front of businesses in fucking California. There shouldn't be so many fucking homeless people on the street. You should feel relatively safe to be walking in business, like, cities and shit, man. I don't even want to go to cities. I live in a kind of a smaller type of city. It's got maybe, I don't want to talk exactly. I don't want people figuring out where I'm at, but the structures were fucking amazing, dude. Like, and they're all dilapidated. Nobody takes care of it. And the architecture is just fucking amazing. It's gone to shit. And nobody wants to be like, they just want to ignore it, like, because it's not happening to me. It's not happening to me right now. The wolves ain't out the door right now. Well, guess what? They will be fucking soon, dude. The fuck? It's so fucking dumb, man. Whatever, dude. I'm a fucking crackpot conspiracy theorist, I guess.